Welcome back, grade 11s. Now, let's look at our last concept, which is lobbying, networking, and power relations. Lobbying refers to the process of trying to influence legislation or parliamentary decision-making. Meaning of lobbying. Lobbying is an organized process where individuals, businesses, and organizations use their influence to change government policy. So when people lobby, it simply means that they are coming together to try and influence government decision or a law that has been passed by government which affects people and businesses as well. It is done by various people with similar motives, beliefs, or commercial positions. Reasons why businesses lobby. Businesses lobby their regulator or supervisory body in order to try influence prices, policies, regulations, and other decisions made by the regulator or supervisory body. Their views are heard, thus making a difference and giving solutions to business challenges. So they lobby because they want change. It's either their regulator has increased prices. Now the business, they feel that the prices are not fair for them. So they can come together as businesses and try to influence their regulator to change the prices that they have set for businesses. Now let's move on to types of lobbying. We have hedging against inflation. Businesses use hedging to protect their financial investments by spreading the risk. Businesses invest surplus funds so that its value grows at a faster rate than inflation. So what you need to understand, learners, is that as a business, we are not only looking at profit, but we also need to make sure that we invest that profit in an investment that is going to give us better returns other than that are more than the inflation in simple terms. So by so doing, we are making sure that in times of crisis as a business, we are able to continue to be sustainable and also continue our operations. Bargaining sessions between management and unions. These sessions enable employees to negotiate with employers as a group to protect employees' rights. So bargaining sessions between management and unions, they assist in terms of making sure that employees' voices are heard through their union reps. They sit with employers, discuss employees' complaints, and thereafter they come to a win-win situation that is going to benefit both the employees and both the employers. So it's very important for a business to have these bargaining sessions in order to make sure that they prevent industrial actions from occurring. Bargaining sessions prevent labor strikes and provide critical information to people in power. New word, regulator, refers to a person or body that supervises a particular industry or business activity. Influencing supervisory body or regulators. There are a large number of supervisory bodies and regulators who operate in the business environment. Businesses take an active role in professional bodies. So for businesses to be able to have their voices heard, they need to make sure that they are part of the regulatory bodies. They need to join them so that their voices are heard. Through their membership, advocacy, and submissions, they may be able to influence changes to existing regulations. So you cannot try to change the regulations that are being made by the regulator if you are not a member. So it's very important that you become part. You have a membership so that your word can be taken or your voice can be heard. Now, these are examples of regulators. We have the national and regulatory authorities, the National Treasury, South African Reserve Bank, Department of Trade and Industry, Trade and Investment, South Africa, Johannesburg Securities Exchange, South African Chamber of Business, Banking Council of South Africa, Financial Services Board, National Productivity Institute, National Economic Development and Labour Council, Competition Commission of South Africa, Development Bank of Southern Africa, Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa, South African Futures Exchange, Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, which is CCMA. Now, let's look at networking. It refers to a coordinated activity where people who have similar objectives meet, exchange information and ideas. So when we network as a business, it simply means that we meet people with similar motives. We exchange ideas for our businesses to grow, for our businesses to expand. The goal of networking is to reach as many people as possible and make every connection count. Here are the examples of networking. There's formal networking, there's informal networking, and there's also social media and internet. Now, let's look at the advantages of networking. Businesses can attract new customers, resulting in increased market share. So through our networking, we can find customers that are going to like our product, adding to the customer base that we already have as a business. Plays a role in the marketing and expansion of a business. So networking assists us as businesses to make sure that we grow as a business through networking, because that's when we are going to show off our product, show off our business, make other people who are not even aware about our business to be aware of the business. Allows managers to build new business relationship and generate new business opportunities. So when we network, it's going to allow us as managers to make sure that we even reach other people who are going to be interested in our business, because through that networking, you may find that we get a very good investor that is going to invest in the business, assisting the business to make sure that it continue to operate. Now, let's look at power relations. Meaning of power relations. Power relations can be described as a measurement of a business's ability to control its environment and the behavior of other businesses. So we have a certain degree of power in relationships as a business. Employees have the power to strike. Businesses have the power to choose which suppliers that they want to buy to. Suppliers have the power to demand the money for their raw materials that have been sold to the business. So it comes in different degrees. But for the business to have a lot of power and influence its environment, it's important. The power that the business has on the environment determines the status it holds within the industry. So if the business has more power, then it determines the status of that particular business. Obviously, if you have more power, then it simply means that you are dominating in the industry, having more customers, having a profit more than other businesses. So it's very important to make sure that you are powerful in the industry that you operate in as a business, in order to make sure that you gain competitive advantage. Now let's look at strategic alliance and partnership agreements. Businesses form partnership agreements in order to benefit in each other's involvement. These partnership alliances help parties involved to benefit in infrastructure development and scarce resources. So as a business, we need to make sure that we have strategic partnerships, we have alliances, so that we can benefit in each other's presence. For instance, if we have an alliance with the other business, obviously we are going to benefit the resources, we can benefit the infrastructure, we can benefit the expertise. So it's very important that we come to terms to partnership agreements, so that we cannot compete against one another, but we can benefit from each other. Persuasion of large investors. If a business has a powerful investor, the business can often benefit from the relationship, so that it can gain credit more easily and better deals from suppliers. Businesses invite powerful, influential people to sit on their board of directors in order to get advice from those people. So if we have a powerful investor, it's going to be easy for us as businesses to get loans if we need loans, because of this powerful investor that we have in our business. The powerful investor can also sit in the board of directors or even in a meeting, so that they can share their experience that is going to assist the business to grow. Ways to form power relations. Now, let's look at company representatives' influence. This representative fulfills an important function in trying to persuade investors to invest in a particular business practice. Businesses must invest time and energy to recruit the right person for this job. So a company rep is a very serious person to have in a business, because through the company's representative, that's when we can be able to get investors. We need to find the suitable candidate for the job. The person who's going to be able to persuade investors to invest in our business, the person who's going to represent us well in making sure that we get the rightful investors. Now, learners, you need to know that whatever it is that you learned today does not nullify yesterday, but it makes tomorrow better. With that being said, it's time for me to leave. Bye-bye.